Good evening, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Thunderous Thursdays, this time happening on a fantastic Friday. So, I hope you have been liking the previous series. I'd covered the previous series on loans and its implications on different parts. So, today is episode number 8. So, what we'll be discussing today? We'll be discussing a beautiful topic which I intended to discuss last week, but then postponed because of the continuation of the loan part. And of course, the 5 bad habits of spouses in the last edition, which was related to loan in a way. So today's session, I will be actually addressing, you can say, the financial plan requirements. So let me just check whether I'm live or not, and then I can begin, because it hasn't given me a notification as yet. No notification as yet. Let me check. Let me check once again, please. Seems I am live. Yes, I'm live now. Yep. Thank you so much. So allow me to share my screen before I can actually go ahead and share things with you. So welcome once again to episode number 8, week 8 of 26. This is in way indicator also how much time in each week has passed. So 8 weeks, practically almost 2 months have passed now. So this is the episode number 8 of Thunder Thursdays, because of a family gathering happening on last, we can say yesterday. It was postponed to 25th Feb. Sorry, it was not 25th Jan. It is postponed to 25th of Feb today. So as usual, all my presentations will always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty has given me much more than what I deserve. And when it comes to finance, of course, I have to, you can say, thank my dad, who has been instrumental in teaching me the clinical part of finance, whatever I have been learning. This is my brief CV. You all are aware of it by now. So today's topic, again, making a financial plan, is it part 1? Like the banking part, if I see a lot of interest being generated on this topic, a lot of people walking with me on this journey, having questions, having feedback, posting anything, then I'll be definitely doing part 2, or continuing it a bit further, explaining a few things else, or else we move on to the next topic next week. So the choice lies with all of you, the audience. So a few people generated interest in the banking part, but many did not. So they were happy with what they had got, so they never wanted to learn further. So I shifted to over that part. Now let's discuss this topic. So whenever we make a financial plan, you can say there are a few components in that. The cash flow planning, the investment planning, insurance planning, retirement planning, real estate planning, and of course the tax planning. Trust me, if you have to create wealth for your future, for your retirement, for your goals, for your education, for your kids' marriage, whatever goals in your life you may have, for your clinic expansion, you all need to have a planning part. And the tax planning part and the wealth creation part goes hand in hand. I've stressed enough importance on this in the previous session. So let's come straight to the point. What are the tax saving options under Section 80C? Section 80C is the granddaddy of all the investments that are being made under the IT Act 1961. So if I have grouped these into 3 parts, the first category is the market link plan. The second category is the fixed income plans. The third category is the other plans. So of course, let's discuss them a bit one by one. So ELSS is basically equity linked savings schemes. For beginners, if I have to explain, these are tax saving mutual funds. The funds which actually will grant you tax exemption. Not all funds are ELSS funds. ELSS funds have a little disadvantage in compared to other equity or debt components. Of course, debt don't come under any component. Even the equity purely doesn't come under the section of a tax rebate, but ELSS have a lock-in period of 3 years. For example, if you are continuing with your SIP for 3 years, the last installment, which was debited in January 2022, will be eligible for takeout minimum in January 2025 or December 24, whatever you can say. this will be the 3-year lock-in period for that. So, but yes, it is a very handy investment, followed by most of the colleagues, most of the, you can say, people who want to save tax. So yes, along with PPF, it has been one of the topmost return givers. Then the another market linked plan is the ULIP, the unit linked unit linked insurance plan. So I somehow do not find, you can say, this concept very favorable with my mindset. On one hand, we are actually making an investment. On other hand, we are linking an insurance plan. Insurance and investment for dentists are like an endodontist and a oral surgeon. They don't go hand in hand. Either you save the tooth with a root canal, or you extract the tooth. The both of them can't work on the same tooth with the same treatment plan. They will have a different treatment plan. So effectively saying investment has a different purpose, that is for goals. Insurance is for protection. Why link these things? The problem ULIPs have been gaining a lot of favor in the past, favor from the investors in the past, is the one question they ask the advisor: "Agar main bach gaya to?" What do you mean? You're not happy to survive after your insurance? We all must be having a car, and it is mandated to have a car insurance as well. But still, even after the insurance, do we expect or do we wish that हमारी car ठुक जाए या injury हो जाए? No, we don't want that. We still want, नहीं अगले साल NCB ले लेंगे, no claim bonus, but we don't want our car to be hit. So that is the you can say same theory should be there, but it should not be अगर मैं बच गया तो मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Term return of premium. That is actually ULIP le lo, you can say other plans, marketing plans le lo, all those fixed guaranteed income plan as they are talked to us on telephone by the advisors or the telemarketing persons. Le de ke sabke returns 5 to 7%. Yes, a few may be exempt under section 10D, but even if they are exempted or not exempted, the return wise, the potential is not great. ULIPs are, of course, not at all exempted. ULIPs are totally taxable. I'll come to the taxation part later on. So the fixed income plans, the PPF, EPF, BPF, of course, all of them are provident funds. PPF is for everyone. EPF is for salaried, and BPF again is for, you can say, the pensioner part or the pension component where you want to generate a handsome amount for your future. So the taxability wise, most of them are tax free only. The NSA is the National Savings Certificate, a fixed income plan which gives you a return of 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, which keeps on varying. Presently, I think it is around 6.2 or 6.3. I'm not really sure exactly, but 6.2 or 6.3 should be the range of NSE, but the returns are fully taxable. Then comes the tax saver FD. It is different from your routine FD. Just like your mutual funds are different from your tax saving mutual funds, similarly tax saving FD, it might be similar in appearance, but the only thing is it is also having a lock-in of at least 3 to 5 years. So usually 5 years only. So the tax saving FD is giving you rebate. But again, the tax saving FD and a normal FD don't differ in the interest part. If a normal FD is giving you 5% for 1 year, 6% for 1 year, the tax saving would also be the same. Yes, it might appear to us as different since the lock-in period is there for 3 to 5 years. So it will say 5 years ka lock-in hai, so interest rate is about 6.2, 6.3, a tad better than the normal FD. But FD hai, जिस मर्जी फॉर्म में ले लो, टैक्स सेविंग हो वो रिटर्न्स वही रहेंगे, और रिटर्न्स are fully taxable also. Then the post office term deposits or time deposits, again similar to FDs, the RDs, they are the same thing. Then the NABARD bonds, of course, the returns fully taxable. The government bonds which come in any form, these are options. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for the girl child below 10 years of age, having interest 0.5 more than the PPF. PPF is 7.1, so Kanya Samriddhi gives you 7.6, but only for the girl child, biased in nature, not for the boy or the male child, and also below, you can say 10 years of age. Disadvantage is that actually it is a very long scheme, 21 years of lock-in period. You can although get it early for child's education, child's marriage, but it is intended as a policy for child's marriage only, or you can say, or maybe for higher education if needed that regard. Yes, there are clauses if there is a premature death of the investor, means the guardian or the father, you can premature withdraw it, and many other components, of course. So, but the biggest advantage is that these Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is actually and say you pay the money for 15 years only. You can pay 15 years only, and the lock-in period is for 21 years if the absolute returns are to be taken in that. Then the senior citizen savings schemes, SCSS, available only for people above 60 years of age. And again, Pradhan Mantri Vandana Vyaya Yojana. So even that is the scheme which is there only for the senior citizen scheme. So this is about the fixed income plans. So then the others, insurance, pension premiums, of course, as a component of additional component of ATC, you can say subgroups. Then the national pension system. Many of you would wonder the national pension system is different from ATC. ATCCD 1B is the section which accords you separately deduction of 50,000 other than ATC. But a national pension system is ATCCD 1B is again a sub-component of the granddaddy ATC. So somebody can, at 10% of his gross income, he can invest totally in NPS also. He's having, you can say 20 lakhs of gross income. He can invest 10% of that, 2 lakhs purely in NPS. It is the slab is set as such. Then the children's tuition fee, that is also you can say a component of ATC under 1.5 lakh. The ATC range, as I told at the start, is 1.5 lakhs. So children's tuition fee, it is not the total fee that you pay. Tuition fee is a very small peanut component of the total fee that you pay. For example, if your monthly fees goes around 6,000 to 7,000 rupees, about 500 to 700 would be the tuition fee in that. So if you multiply it by 12, you'll be actually having a rebate of 60,000 only in that regard, maybe. Sorry, 6,000 in that regard, 500 into 12, 6,000 approximately. So it's absolutely no use. Then the repayment of the housing loan or the principal component. Only the principal component, not the interest component. For the interest component, there is section 24 separately available, which accords up to 2 lakh of further rebate. But principal amount can be adjusted into that. But then that is actually repayment of your loan only, not your investment. So for the investment part, if you are taking yourself into account, I would say only two things: ELSS and the PPF. Of course, don't look at these options as, even if you're salaried, don't look at these options that I'm having a salary, so EPF would be a good option for me. Going for PPF also. So you can get it done. Now the slabs have been set by government up to 5 lakh of that can be put into that only. Plus you can say 1.5 of PPF, 6.5 only is the tax-free income for the salaried people also in that regard, which makes it roughly, you can say 41,000 something 700 for the salaried per month. Extra maybe they can do other than the PPF part. But for a normal individual, I hold these two things. So let us look at other options, because these options might, this is actually a very long list of ATC. It is a huge list, but I've just cut down on a few options which are actually handy and very useful for most of the people. So then what are the lenses or the filters that we use to choose the right kind of product? The number one factor which I always advise everyone is the return potential of the product. वो कितनी रिटर्न देगा. अब अगर आप यहाँ पे अपना यूलिप लेते हैं या इंश्योरेंस लिंक्ड प्लान कोई भी लेते हैं, you actually cannot get a good return. Of course, then the insurance component comes higher, and then even in those plans where you have a guaranteed income, or you can say an insurance component, the premium would be higher and the coverage would be hardly anything. So have specialists for specialist products. As I said, insurance and investment are like endodontist and the oral surgeon of a dentistry. So you can't have both of these things together in a same tooth for a same treatment plan. Either you remove the pulp or you remove the tooth and all. So then the tax incidence. Someone who is in 5% tax bracket actually pays no tax. So practically there are two tax slabs only, 20% and 30%. So somebody, if he falls with his all income and all returns in 20%, he will say, I will pick up the lesser option also. But someone who is having, you can say, income above 10 lakhs, so he falls into the 30% tax bracket. Of course, it is a progressive taxation system. Everybody goes through that slab and pays the tax as per 5 and 20%. Someone who is having even an income of 1 crore per year, even if he has to go, he will still pay a lesser tax on the first 10 lakhs than what he pays above 10 to 100 lakhs or 1 crore. So that difference is actually there. Then the minimum lock-in period, as I told you, tax-saving FDs and all, they will have a lock-in of 5 years. ULIPs will also have a lock-in. NSE has a lock-in of 5 years, 6 years, sorry. So PPF 15 years, Sukanya Samriddhi 21 years, ELSS 3 years. So these things also need to be taken into account. So then the compatibility to long-term financial goals. So when you have a goal in your mind, how do you decide which investment is to be picked? Of course, in those categories, I would say the uh, mutual funds come handy, the equity or the ELSS. As I told you, ELSS are the tax saving mutual funds. So if you have a goal in your mind, I need the money after, you can say, 6 years, and I need the money in a double format. So you need to put in an instrument that gives you a return of at least 12%. Because by the rule of 72, you will double your money. Divide 72 divided by 12% is equal to 6 years. So you can use 6%, the time frame also, the interest part also, or the, you can say, the total amount also. So you can calculate by the rule of 72 how much time will it need to double your money. So the simplest rule is the rule of 72. So for example, if your equity mutual funds, the normal mutual funds, not the ELSS, are giving you 12% on an average return, your money will double in 6 years. So that is the golden rule to follow. If you need your money to be doubled or tripled, then the rule of 114. If you need your money to be quadrupled, then the rule of 144, double of 72. So this is the way calculations are done. So if you have that in mind that I am starting late, what do I need to look at? Of course, you need to look at how much amount do you need, how much time do you have in hand, have in hand. Of course, the running income is sometimes good enough to compensate those goals, but you still plan for the things in your life. Your kid is going in for higher education abroad, for example, in 6 years. So you need to plan at the age of 12 or 11. And in retrospect, you will say, my kid, I am starting late. I attended Dr. Bhavdeep Oja's lecture. I am starting late now. So my kid is already 11. Need to plan for his education, need to plan for his marriage or her education. It can be either. Of course, no gender bias in this part. So you need to do a reverse planning. I need this much amount in 6 years. This is my starting amount. Or I need this much amount, go retrograde how much amount you need to put in, at least monthly or at least yearly, to arrive at that magical figure that you need after 6 years. So in that regard, you can do a plan. Goal setting is one of the important part, and of course, a disciplined investment always pays you better interest. So if you pick in an investment like a PPF in that regard, trust me, a 15-year lock-in period will not come handy for an 11-year-old kid. Yes, you can use that money for maybe kids, you can say marriage, because normally kids don't get married till 25 or 26, usually in today's times. But you can use that. I don't consider an investment return of 7.1% on PPF as a bad one. Someone who is high earning, you can say he has a 10% return on PPF, I would say. Because if he's in 30% tax bracket, his after tax return is 7.1%. Yes, I understand you may have confusion. Sir, आपने तो बोला PPF is tax free. Absolutely 100% tax free. It is just to assume this thing that if PPF were taxable, people think यार 6-7% ही तो मिलता है. Think about the taxability, but some investment giving you 10%. If you have 30% to pay on tax on that, as per your slab, then what is the answer? 7. So if somebody is giving you 7.1 without tax, you can say any liability, what else do you need? So presume it that in that regard. So I believe your return should be able to, you can say, beat the inflation part handsomely. And that is what is done by these things. So always think into these 4 factors before you jot down on any kind of investment. So because ultimate aim is to grow your money, create wealth. And of course, tax saving plays an important role in that. Those who actually ignore the tax saving part, they need to understand, they need to practically understand कि अगर आप tax saving करते हो 1.5 लाख की, तो practically 30% के हिसाब से 45,000 with your surcharge 46800 तो आपको वापस आ गया. Let's forget the surcharge for a moment. तो आप 45 तो आपको वापस आ गया. So you are investing only 1,05,000 from your pocket. Yes, the whole money will grow, but think that ways. If you're doing that ways, you are taking an advantage of the system. And if you're doing, you can say with NPS 2 lakhs full, at least the tax saving part, you're saving out on 60,000 rupees. So practically 140 की investment आप करके 2 लाख के ऊपर return ले रहे हैं, and that too in the range of 10%, 11% tax, presuming you can say. So ELSS will also give you around about 10, you can say 10 to 11% on an average. there are ELSS funds which will give you, you can say, good returns, even those equal to, you can say, the equity mutual funds. So return potential of ELSS is higher, but it is not guaranteed. So what is you can say the return potential? NSE is 6.8 presently. The tax saver FD is like a normal FD, 5.25 to 6.6. The 5-year post office deposit 6.7. The PPS 7.1. NPS currently is giving around 13 point something as per the previous 1 year. Of course, 6.92 can be ignored because the average return in the past 5 years of NPS has been in the range of 9 to 11%. Currently, since the past 1 year, 13%. So it is one of the highest return givers. But then, what is the taxation potential? This is a market link. You can get more, you can get less. But on an average, if the 3 year is the lock-in period, and for example, if you've done your last SIP today, you are eligible to take out at least the last installment in January 2025. So 3 or 6 saal ho gaye. So on an average, if you keep your money for 5 to 6 to 7 years, there is a very, very less chance of a capital erosion. There will be often on the market, there will be a sluggish year in the market, but it will go and up and down. But if you look at the track record of previous 30 years, a 12%, or sorry, 20 years, a 12% return has always been given in the market plan. So if you don't want to take a risk, there are safer havens available in the form of PPF and NPS. You can divide into that part. You can say ELSS is still less risky, but is with a lock-in period, which actually grants you discipline that you don't take out your money as soon as possible. So because we all have to make a plan, ultimate aim is to grow your wealth. So let's see the tax implications, or say the long-term returns part. So ELSS, of course, till January 2018, there was no taxation on ELSS. They were totally tax-free like PPF. But now after, you can say January 2018, the grandfathering concept has been introduced. What does that mean? It means that whatever exemption, the fund rate was there on 31st Jan 2018, it is exempt till that point. For example, you had bought a mutual fund way back in 2010, and on 31st Jan 2018, the NAV of that fund was 100 rupees. Now you want to take out this money on, you can say 31st Jan 2022, after 4 years of that. So now that NAV is, you can say, let's suppose 150 rupees of that fund, and you hold 1000 units. So what is your profit? Your profit is 140 into 1000 units. What does that come? It becomes 1,40,000. So 1,40,000 is your profit. So what was exempt to you? Exemption amount is 1 lakh. The first thing is, the first cutoff is 31st Jan. So the first 31st Jan, the NAV was 100 rupees. That means 1 lakh totally goes tax free. Now, what is the return in these past 4 years? For 50 rupees NAV. You can say on the cost price, 40 rupees difference on that. So 40,000 is your gain. So your tax gain is again exempted up to 1 lakh rupees. So that means even with a, say, 1.5 lakh of gain, you pay nil tax. But if the same situation was there, let's suppose the NAV is now 250 rupees for the 10 rupee fund. So your gain is actually 2,40,000. So what is your cutoff? Your cutoff is 100 rupees, 1 lakh gone. Now your gains are 1,40,000 extra from 31st January 2018, presuming an NAV of 250. So you would say 1,40,000 are my gains, 1 lakh is exemption. So now the next is remaining is 40,000. 10% of that 40,000, 4,000 rupees is the tax you pay. That again, still not a higher one, but you still need to remember that these are the things which are actually very, very important in those calculations. So NSC, National Savings Certificate, taxable fully as per slab. So if you are in 30%, you pay a hell lot of tax. PPF is EEE, exempt, exempt, exempt. Exempt at the time of investment, exempt at the time of accrual, means growing, exempt at the time of withdrawal, means maturity. So NPS is partially taxable. 60% amount you can take out lump sum at you can say maturity. Now the maturity can be 60, 65, 70, 75. Up to 75 is the upper limit. Those dates have been revised now. So 60% is totally tax free. From the remaining 40%, you actually buy an annuity, which gives you a monthly pension. The returns of monthly pension are fully taxable as per your slab. So I don't presume you will be working after 65 or 70 whenever you take out your NPS. So technically your 40% would be also falling in that range of tax-free income only in a way, not exactly, although it is taxable, but in a way, since we don't have would not be having much of income at that point of time, at least from our business and profession, if I presume rightly that you have retired, you will not be actually having great amount of tax to pay in that. So it is partially taxable. ULIPs, I always find them non-transparent, so I will not actually advise that. But then they have LTCG of 10% for annual premium above 2.5 lakhs. Then the tax saving FD, totally taxable like the NC. FD, any kind of, you can say, is taxable. The only difference between a taxing FD is that you can get a rebate of 1.5 lakhs up to 1.5 lakhs on your investment in that regard. So the ultimate aim is to earn money. Of course, we all want to do that, and discipline is the key going ahead that part. So investment period is the shortest. You can say lock-in period is shortest in that regard in ELSS. So the ELSS lock-in is 3 years, NSE is 5 years, PPF after first 15 it is 5 years each, NPS superannuation death or 20% after 10 years, ULIP 5 years, tax saving FD 5 years. So these all come with a lock-in period of this part. So Kanya, I told you 21 years, PPF initial is 15 years. So ultimate aim is to create wealth, but the route of tax saving cannot be ignored in that part, because I told you if you invest 2 lakhs, you are practically, and you fall in 30%, you are practically investing 140. You get 60 cash back in a way directly. So ELSS will offer you twin benefits of tax saving and capital appreciation. So yes, those things cannot be ignored. So even if you can say ELSS gives you 10%, and after taxation, it comes a little bit better than the PPF part, because this is the equity component of your tax savings. There are two different things. We need to understand those parts. There is a debt component, which you put in the fixed income thing, where people prefer a money market fund or a liquid fund. I don't go by that fund. Absolutely, I avoid those things because of higher taxation, because of various reasons. For me, PPF is the new debt. And for me, the tax saving portion equity is the ELSS. So yes, other than that, for wealth creation, the normal equity mutual funds come into that part. So it has a 3-year lock-in period. It is an attractive thing. Of course, we can go in for our goals like children education and retirement planning for the long-term part, at least from the tax component part, if not the total part. If you're investing 5 lakhs in a year, at least you can say 1.5, which is going into that portion. You can go in for at least 50,000 of ELSS minimum. You can go about that part. So ultimate aim is again to create more and more wealth for each other, so that what we all get is, what we all vouch for is the financial freedom part. So yes, the carry home gyan for today, start by setting financial goals, track your money and redirect it towards your goals. पहले बचाना पड़ेगा ना, because the first question people ask me, sir, बचते ही नहीं है तो invest कहाँ से करें? You have to do the budgeting. You have to do budgeting aptly. Start by setting the financial goals for yourself. Track your money and then direct towards your goals. You all need to plan. You all need to plan, and you all need to plan well, because kids are your responsibility. If you don't fulfill your responsibility, you are actually faltering on some parts. Then invest to build your savings. We all need to do that. Saving accounts will not give you more than 3% or 2.7 or 2.5% also these days. Like banks like State Bank and Federal have linked it to repo rate, and 2.5, 2.7 is the average rate. SDFC, ICICI, normal banks are all have come down to 3%. But yes, there are higher in saving banks like the small finance banks. They are giving you 6.5 to 7% over a certain amount. And make sure that whatever emergencies you have in life don't become disasters, because we all saw in COVID wave 1, people were doing a Maggie pizza pasta party for the first 3 weeks, hoping that everything would be normal by 16th of April. And trust me, after 2 years, life is slowly getting back to normal. जब भी कुछ होने लगता है normal, तो कोई ना कोई कर देता है. इस बार मिस्टर पुटिन की बारी है. So again, summary of actually 10 steps to create a solid financial plan. Write down your goals, start an emergency fund if you don't have it already, pay off your debt, of course. We discussed this part a lot in the loans in the previous 2 sessions. Create a plan to invest, set up your goals. Goal setting करेंगे तभी पता लगेगा कि कितना पैसा चाहिए. अंदाजा तो लगाएंगे ना, स्टार्ट करेंगे डिसिप्लिन से, थोड़ा थोड़ा तभी बनेगा. बूंद बूंद से समंदर बनता है. Everybody starts with a 0 or a 1. Nobody starts with 100 in the first shot. So you need to remember. So get the right kind of insurance. Insurance is for protection. Investment is for wealth creation. Don't make these two. Vodka or brandy mix nahi karte. Whiskey or brandy mix nahi karte. So don't mix insurance and investment, of course. So create a plan for your retirement. None of us is going to get pension except the people in government colleges. Even those of you who are in private colleges are not going to get any pension. It is indeed sorrowful to ask for money in your old age from your kids. That is the worst thing one can do. So plan for your own retirement because nobody else will. You need to remember that we are in such a profession. So plan for taxes. If you don't plan for taxes, you'll be actually paying more. You'll be paying more. अगर आप टैक्स सेविंग नहीं कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड कर रहे हैं, तो आप बहुत बड़ी बेवकूफी कर रहे हैं, I would say. So the tax saving is the first 3-4 steps of a wealth creation ladder. If we say at the 10th step, it is the wealth creation part. The first 3 or 4 steps have to be tax saving part. Create an estate plan. Of course, life is uncertain. You need to do a planning that if you have proper nominees registered in your bank accounts, in all your assets, so that there are no disputes. If unfortunately you have to leave this world without, you can say, information. Of course, any one of us leaves the world without information. But then what I mean to say is unplanned in your young age, in your middle age, then you don't expect your family to be actually looking out for something in your absence, especially if you are the only earning member. So review your plan frequently, and of course, stay on the course. The discipline is one thing which I always encourage that everyone should be having. So thank you so much for your patience with me in this part, and this is part 1 of financial plan. If I see a lot of interest, I'm sure gonna continue with part 2, or else I'll move on to another topic in the next week. So you have, you can say, practically 1 week to show me some interest, show me some love. So this is my WhatsApp group. Most of you are already in there who get a notification from me. But if you want to be added, I will be limiting these. You can say till you can say the 6th group only. Beyond that, maybe in Telegram, maybe any other media, but not on WhatsApp, surely. So this is my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed already, do so. A lot of videos already on the channel, all for the dentist as my payback to the society. So this is my social media presence, all by my absence, all by my name, Dr. Bhavdeep. So you can follow me or catch me anywhere. So do send me your feedback. Bouquets and brickbats both will be welcome in equal measure. And thank you so much for you. Thank you once again. And I stop my share for question time or checking up my Facebook page where I'm actually delivering this to check out who is actually good enough to watch it. Okay. So hello, Dr. Ramchandra sir. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, Dr. Virinda. Hi, Maninda ji. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, Dr. Sonia. Hello, Dr. Deepthi. Hello, Dr. Dev Singh. Hi, Rajat. Hello, Dr. Manu. Hi, Nikhil. Glad to see you here. You put up a post, put in kuch kar diya, so now it is time to invest in market. Hi, Dr. Parul. Hello, Vinita ma'am. Hello, Dr. Vandana. Hi, Atamjeet. Great to see you here, different from your MBA routine. So thank you, Dr. Sonia. Hello, Vicky sir. So Dr. Gaurav Sharma asks, according to you, which NPS account is good? NPS account, sir, एक ही होता है, government का होता है. ENPS is the better option rather than the paper NPS. Open up an account yourself. There are 7 fund managers in that. All of them are giving almost similar returns, but HDFC and Birla Sun Life are giving a tad better than many other, you can say, fund managers. You still have the option to switch at least once in a year. If you're not satisfied with any of the fund manager, you can switch the fund manager as per your choice. So I hope it answers your query, but I would say tier 1 account is the better option. Tier 2 is now almost similar to tier 1. Earlier, tier 2 was similar to a saving bank account, but I don't see any much benefit of tier 2 account separately. As such, also the NPS has still got to garner a lot of attention. So I'm not really a big favor of tier 2 account. I'm happy with tier 1 account only. So okay, thank you, Dr. Sonia. Thank you, Dr. Ramchandra. Yes, let's hope, Dr. Ramchandra, people show some interest, and I'll be there. Thank you, Gaurav. So friends, this was episode number 8 of Thunder Thursdays, happening on a fantastic Friday. So I see you for the finance session next Thursday. But even on this Monday, there will not be a FB live. It will be on a terrific Tuesday, because Monday I have an engagement already at 8:15. So Monday, miraculous Monday, management Monday would happen on a terrific Tuesday this time, but the Thunder Thursday would happen on the same day, on the Thursday. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good night and have a great weekend. Bye bye.